friends, the show starts now. Welcome to the Weekly Roundtable, where the takes are hot and FOMO set to disable. Welcome to the Weekly Roundtable, where friends are made and we all drink that red maple. Break. Juan's got his eyes on the latest somehow. We mean forex that make you go wild. Crypto crazy is a man on a mission like a Tesla. He most def got a vision. Weekly Roundtable, we got no cables. Predicting the future using their bagels. Chart is throwing out numbers, no trouble. He finds the gems for real, no struggle.
That whole time I was on mute.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the stream, guys. Thanks for joining us. We have a lot to cover this week. We have information and all the weekly news when it comes to the crypto market. We also have the inauguration coming on the 20th of January, as well as a few other things as well. And we are going to run all of that down. So stick to the end of the video. We also have some information about the hardware wallet giveaway that we're going to have. So let's get right to it. Gentlemen, how are you doing this week?
Fired up. Good times coming up. And we have Monday off in the States. So a nice 3-day weekend coming up.
Oh, beautiful. Lucky for you guys.
I'm just as excited about the market, but I'm now very disappointed that we don't have a holiday.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, well, let's get right to it. First thing we're going to do is, as always, we're going to go over the charts just to see how Bitcoin and the rest of the market is doing. All right, here we go. There's the Bitcoin chart. Currently, we are sitting at nice, cozy $100,000, 196, which is great to see. I'm just going to turn down this music. I don't want it to be too loud. There we go. All right. So last week we went over the possible head and shoulders playing out. As you can see here, I have a yellow line drawn, which signifies January 20th. We have the inauguration, and of course, $1.2 billion FTX repayments. All the paperwork had to be in for anyone that was owed money, and repayments are going to begin shortly after that. So that is a big catalyst. It's going to be a lot of money that flows into the market. But we've been watching this head and shoulders pattern. Like I had said on the last video, we're not really sure if it's going to play out. Possibly, I should say, or most likely not. All we need to do really to nullify this whole pattern here is if we can get a little bit of a higher high. So we can get a little bit higher than, say, 1027, say 1028, nice round number. We can get above that. That'll nullify this pattern. But for now, I do want to keep it there because the possibility still exists. I'm just going to move this guy down here. Now, it's possible if the head and shoulders does play out, we get down to the 76,000 range. Probably not going to happen. But, you got to keep your mind open to it just in case. We've had a pretty good couple of days, been bullish after we had that fake out to the downside where there was a ton of liquidations in the market. Too much leverage had to be cleared out, and it's been flushed and cleared, although new positions have been open, but they're still not super high leverage, which is really what we want to see. Leverage is okay to use in the market, but when you start seeing really, really high leverage, that's when it can get pretty, pretty dangerous. So, gentlemen, quickly, I'll start with you, Juan. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin?
And you switch to the 4-hour chart?
Sure can. There we go.
So for me, it was that's fine right there. Let's focus towards the end.
Right.
For me, it was really interesting because you see a nice little accumulation occurring on the 4-hour prior to the dip. So you see that straight line right there, right? That's all accumulation. Then you get a nice little manipulation, right? And now you shot straight up to distribution. So for me, it looks very bullish. We're probably going to end up maybe around 103 if we continue this way. And sets a strong precedent for inauguration day. So, and coming into the holiday. So now, will the weekend kind of be a fun time to watch? Yeah, right before, because Bitcoin doesn't rust, so it's going to be interesting. But I foresee it hitting like around 103. Very bullish signal right here, and hopefully we'll crush it.
That'd be actually ideal, because if we did, well, that means we'll break this previous high here and we'll have a higher high structure. If we can break into this ascending channel, that'd be even better. That'd be really, really bullish for Bitcoin. And then
As you can, right. And when you look at the EMA, you saw that it tapped back down and shot right back up. So that's a really strong positive move.
Yeah, agreed. And if you look on the RSI, even though we are up the last few days, it's still pretty low. It's around the 40s, which is healthy.
Yep. So yeah, it's kind of inviting people to look at it and say, "Hey, invest more. We're gonna make a move."
That's what I like to hear. Let's hope it plays out. That would be ideal. Cruiser, your thoughts on Bitcoin? You've been following?
Well, I was thinking everything you guys just said. The weekend's going to be exciting, leading up to inauguration day. And I think the same thing. We're in for a bit of a run here, and I'm hoping to see that 103, 104. Maybe we can do 105. We shall see.
That would be bullish. And also, you can see on the chart there as well. I was gonna reply to our resident Black Cat in the chat. Yeah, the other thing I had mentioned on previous streams is, if you remember here, that the 200 DEMA has been support, going well as far back as the bull run started. And as you can see, it did bounce off of. Oh, you can't see my arrow again. It bounced right off of it, right here for a third time in the last 8 weeks, month, we'll say. A couple of months anyway, so it bounced right off it, and then we had that run. We did have that fake out, that liquidation event, but other than that, it has held this support, so it's great to see. Okay, moving on. I'll move on to, well, you know what? I'd be remiss to mention in the thumbnail also, we do have XRP. Now, here is XRP. This thing just does not stop. Yeah, I mean, it's great if you're a big bag holder of XRP. And anyone who believes in the project, this is great. You can see, well, I guess, I did have this written, marked down as a bear, a bull flag pattern, and it broke out, quick retest and up. It also could be, I guess, depending on how you're looking at it. I just looked at it earlier today, and it could be, a descending channel. Either way, it did what it needed to do. It bounced around in here, and then broke out of it. So that's really, really nice to see. XRP, there's been a lot of, you got your XRP bulls, and then you also have a lot of people that just hate XRP and say it's a nothing coin and it's useless. But, at this point, who really cares? Look at that price go. I know we speak about XRP in the channel quite often, and, proof is in the pudding. Those who have been holding on for as long as they have, who bought, in the last bull market, held all through the bear and been accumulating through the bear, they are getting paid off handsomely right now. It's really, really good to see. Cruiser, I know you own XRP. What about you, Juan?
No, I totally agree with your sentiment there. First and foremost, you got to be careful with the naysayers. Sometimes naysayers run their mouth because they missed the boat. They didn't get in early, and they just need the price to drop. And they're kind of spreading nonsense. And it's your job to kind of look at it for yourself, make your own decision. And if you ever get to speak to one of them, ask them why. Give them like a detailed reason, not just fluff. And exactly what you just said is what they kind of repeat. It's a nothing burger, has no utility, but they can't tell you why it's nothing, right? Obviously, something's going on here where the price is going up. People who know, right? And sometimes you can make your own informed decisions, and sometimes you need to follow the crowd. We've been kind of talking about XRP, and since we've mentioned it, it's been on this tear. We pay attention to market changes, and this is one of it. Here we go, busting out that trend channel. I was like you. I thought it was going to take a little further dip down before it jumped up, and here we are. No, I think my bag just got a lot healthier. I didn't continue to buy XRP. Do I regret the decision? No, because I made money elsewhere. But the bag looks healthy, and that's all that matters at the end, right? Now, did I take some profits? Hell yeah, hell yeah. So I think I'm almost got back everything I put into it. So that just means everything else is just going to be pure profit from here on out. So that's good news for me. At the end of the day, though, guys, right, right.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing, right? Be prepared and put some stop losses on certain areas just in case, right? Because at the end of the day, if it gets lower than expected, I'm gonna go back into XRP. I'm not here to hodl. So at least that's my current plan. What about you, Cruiser? How you doing with your bag?
Well, without going into too much detail, my average buy-in is 54 cents. So that tells you how long I've been holding mine.
Nice.
And actually, just talking to Crypto Crazy earlier today, I decided to take out my initial investment and then a little bit more, which really, in the grand scheme of things, compared to my overall bag, isn't much. But I've got my initial investment out. I've put it aside. I'm going to wait for it to drop, and I'm just going to keep DCAing. Because I've been a firm believer of XRP since day one, and I'm not counting out $10 in this cycle. That's my hope. That's my goal. I'll take out a little more profit once it hits that, and just enjoy the ride. That's what I'm doing. I'm enjoying this ride.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, it's great to see. I love it. So congratulations to all the XRP holders out there. And, looking at the chart, it's showing a lot of strength. We could be due for a little bit of a cool off, a little bit of accumulation area, but I don't see this thing slowing down. All those tokens that, there's been rumors that the incoming administration are going to tax exempt any US-based crypto companies. And, that plays into the hands of the likes of Cardano and XRP and HBAR and a few others and the like. There's many more, obviously, but those Dino coins, as they've been labeled, they've been really taking advantage of it, and they are running with it. So it's good to see. I think it'll continue. And like I said, congratulations to all of the XRP holders out there. Okay, moving on. I want to check out Bitcoin dominance. Now, this is a very interesting chart. It looked like Bitcoin wanted to make its way back up to the ascending trend line and assert its dominance, but it actually did reverse. I'm seeing some people in crypto Twitter and other YouTubers that are saying that this is the beginning where it's going to come all the way back down, and we're going to begin having an altcoin season. That remains to be seen. I would like to see that, but I don't think me personally, I don't believe that Bitcoin has had its run before its cool off, before the altcoin season starts. I think it's going to have a bit of a run here, maybe 110, 115,000. Bitcoin dominance will remain kind of where it is. Alts will do well, but I think Bitcoin will get to a point where it decides to cool off. It won't have a major correction or a dip or anything, but it will kind of step aside and let the altcoins have their day. And I can see that coming soon, or Bitcoin having its day first, and then the altcoin season coming. But I also do want to hop over here real quick to the altcoin.
Before you go to any further there.
Yeah. I just want to share this tab to see where we are in the altcoin season.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, just for the greenhorns out there, the people that are only getting into the crypto space this year, or within the past year, I should say. Just a bit of an explanation in case they don't know how Bitcoin dominance works. The Bitcoin dominance falls. It's usually when the alts pump. Some people don't know that. So just
okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, anyone who's a dedicated watcher of the stream, I have mentioned that before. That's exactly right. As Bitcoin dominance falls, it just means that the money is flowing out of Bitcoin and into the altcoins, or new money coming into the market are going into altcoins as opposed to Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin price doesn't necessarily have to go down for Bitcoin dominance to go down. See, there's there's a separation there that people need to understand. Bitcoin can still continue to go up. It just means that altcoins are going up faster. So here is the altcoin season chart. We're currently at a 55. Typically, altcoin season begins at a 75. We did pop up here briefly last month, but we did get back down to this neutral territory. So this area here is not a bad thing. Altcoins can still have really, really good days, as seen by, today, for example. A lot of tokens were up anywhere between 5, 15, and some of them like HBAR and a few others were up over 20%. So hanging out in this area is fine. Bitcoin can pump, altcoins can pump, but for the true gains that we get in altcoins, you really want to see the altcoins be up in this area in altcoin season. But we will monitor that as it progresses. Now, the other thing we like to check is the USDT dominance right here. I haven't checked this one in a while. It actually did reject again. So USDT dominance keeps on bouncing off of this previous support and rejecting, and has come down. We really want to see it come down in this area, 3% or even below. That just means that there's not a lot of people in stables. Most of the money is in the market, and that's what you like to see. That's when things really start to fly. The other one I wanted to show. Where are you? Ethereum. Here we go. Now here's Ethereum. I know we don't like to talk about Ethereum because Ethereum is one of those. It's supposed to be, well, it is number 2 according to market cap. But this bull market, it has not performed like it. It has underperformed unbelievably. It's so frustrating. It begins to have a bit of a run, comes back down. You think it's going to go on a run, comes back down. And even the last couple of days when everything else had really good candles, Ethereum just, I don't know. It is really underperforming. It's very underwhelming, and it's really starting to annoy a lot of people. There's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, you get your Ethereum maxis. They're like, yeah, Ethereum is crypto. It is DeFi. It is the decentralized financial system. But sorry to say, it's really not. It's Dino Tech. There are faster, better things out there now. Sui being one, Solana being another. It does things a lot faster. They're layer 1s that do everything. It doesn't need layer 2s to survive. Yeah, it is certainly underperforming. Like, I mean, I could eat my words and we come back next week and Ethereum has gone on a 50% pump. It's completely possible. Okay, maybe not 50%, but you know what I'm saying. But I just don't see it happening. I mean, I've been thinking for a while now that it's going to happen. It just has not done nothing. I don't have the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, but if I did, you'd really see what I'm talking about.
And
what are your thoughts on Ethereum? What do you think is the problem there? What is going on with Ethereum?
We talked about it last year, and it looked like nothing has really changed since then, right? There's a huge opportunity for it to market itself a lot better. And there's no news really coming out of that camp, right, for the future. What propelled it in the past was the projects, right? We had a lot of things like NFTs were all based off Ethereum originally. And now we don't have any of that because it's too goddamn expensive, right?
Yeah.
Like they promised to lower fees, and did it lower? Yeah, a little bit, but not significant. It's not significant enough based on the technology they say they employed. So once you start making a lot of promises and then your end result doesn't match, let me rephrase, doesn't come close to matching what you originally said was going to happen, people just move to a different platform. I'm sorry, but Solana got it beat. Binance has been gotten it beat. Look at the growth it has over there. So it's Ethereum, it will be around because there's just a lot of like you said, maxis, and there's like a lot of original tech that's there that's still useful. But as far as being next gen, it needs to come up with something new. It needs to come out with something fresh, and it needs to make a promise and deliver on it.
Yeah, I think last cycle there was a lot of hype around it, but I think most of the hype was around the layer 2s, XRP and the smart contracts.
Cheaper. It's supposed to be cheaper.
Exactly. Well, yeah, you had Polygon, Optimism, there's a few that are on the Ethereum chain that help with the fees. The problem this cycle, many have noticed, I'm sure, but Polygon, which is now the ticker is POL, it hasn't done anything, hasn't even reached, mid levels of last bull market. Optimism and what's the other one? Brain fart. But the other layer 2 on Ethereum are not doing very well. The only one that's doing well on Ethereum right now, technically that's on Ethereum, would be Base. Base is doing well. There's a lot of projects on Base, but I honestly believe if it wasn't for Base, Ethereum, I wouldn't be able to tell you where it would be today. I'm not sure much of a chain it would be for all we know, because XRP has taken over number 3 in terms of market cap. And if Ethereum didn't have the Base chain on there, it could very well have dipped down, and XRP could, easily be number 2 right now. But yeah, it's hurting, and I don't really see that changing. Arbitrum, thank you, Black Cat. Arbitrum is the other one I was thinking of. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that is why, before this bull market even started, I swore I wasn't going to do anything on ETH. I refused to pay the gas fees. It's slow. It gets clogged up a lot. I know Solana did early on, but they have since fixed all those problems, and they're also coming with Fire Dancer soon, which is going to give Solana, up to 1 million TPS transactions per second, and the gas fees on Solana are super, super cheap. And of course, you have SUI to choose from as well. So anyone who's using Ethereum, devs maybe and OGs, but as far as I'm concerned, moving forward, there's no future unless they make some drastic changes.
Totally agree. They need to make moves.
Cruiser, your thoughts?
I stand by what I say. It's going to be left behind this cycle. Now, that's not to say it's not going to go up to 5, 6, 7, who knows, maybe $8,000, just because it is what it is. It is Ethereum after all. But in terms of where it's going to go compared to the rest of the market, I think it's going to be left behind. And I wouldn't be surprised coming out of the next bear market into the next bull that we're not going to see it where it is now. I think it's going to lose its number 2 spot in a hurry.
I think they may actually do a full rebrand. Black Cat says here, in my opinion, ETH has more use than BTC, but apparently price proves otherwise. Black Cat, think about it this way. Think about, look, for example, gold. Juan, you're going to touch on gold in a minute here, but gold has no intrinsic value other than a store of value. Of course, jewelry, stuff like that. But I mean, as an investment itself. So just think of Bitcoin as a digital version of that. That is what BTC is meant to do. It's meant for a store of value. It's meant for earning, maintaining and gaining wealth. Whereas Ethereum is supposed to be a utility token, a utility blockchain, a utility ecosystem, which it is and it has been, but it's becoming way too expensive to use, always has been, but they haven't solved that problem and people are just getting frustrated with it. There are bigger, better, faster things out there. So that's the way you have to look at it.
Let me ask you guys something. What did Bonk come on? What chain was that on?
Bonk? Mm-hmm. I believe Bonk is on Ethereum. Right?
And you would think that when everybody went through that bonk phase, that it would have pumped it up. Mm-hmm. It really didn't. But then Solana drops a phone, and it goes on a tear.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? That's just the difference between those two markets right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to makes the biggest difference between their growth and where their future lies, right? I think that they're just up to date. They know what people want. Just a quick shout out to our Cardano holders out there. Nice reversal with Cardano back over $1. I think it's heading towards $1.10. Great job there. Great job those who are still holding, who sold at the bottom and rebought. Because there was a time that it went down to 78 cents during that dip. So congrats to those who bought at the bottom and rebought at the top. and are holding now. So let's just again be prepared when we always do our trades. That just, hey, I'm gonna buy now and just hold and close my eyes and wake up tomorrow and be a millionaire. No, that's not the market we're in right now. Be prepared, guys. Be prepared. No,
Yeah,
that's it for me
you're
on
exactly
Cardano.
right. Yeah, it went down to 76 cents. You're exactly right. Okay, so Juan, you might as well continue. Did you have something to add, Cruiser, or were you good?
I wanted to look something up here because I thought I read somewhere that Bonk was on Solana and not on Ethereum. But as I'm looking into it, now I'm even more confused because it shows it as being on both Ethereum and Solana.
That's very common. There's a lot of projects that, and meme coins especially, that were on Ethereum or were on another chain, and they launched on a
Migrated.
different chain as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But remember, the popularity happened when Solana launched it and they were giving out free bonk with their phone.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
And that's why, right. So that's why I was kind of mentioning it, because it just shows the difference between the two chains right now. You would think that if it was Ethereum, they would have been like cracked glass ceilings. But no, Solana did. They went from $17 all the way to 200 plus.
Yeah.
So it just shows the difference in what they're doing.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. Moving on to gold. Juan, you had a little bit of a gold report. Here is the gold chart.
Yeah.
What a beautiful chart.
Yeah. What is that? The daily?
Daily, yes.
Yeah. Switch to the 4 hour, please. I just love the 4 hour.
No problem. There you go.
Yeah. This kind of for me tells you the story about what's been happening. And you really kind of see where it came from at the beginning of the year to where we are right now. We all talked about it, mentioned that it's gonna hit 2,700, and now we're over. Are we gonna hit all-time high soon? Yeah. Everybody's hedging, everybody's building their wealth. I typically look at this to see where money is going. If they take it out of gold, I'm going to look into the crypto markets to see what's happening. Look into oil to see what's happening, because money always moves around. As far as patterns, people just buying. People just buying. And I said it from the beginning of the season, right? Like Christmas season, that you're gonna have this lull and then you're gonna have it pump back up, and here we are. The gold is a highly volatile, not for the faint of heart, kind of commodity. But at the end of the day, it's not that hard to kind of see what it's trying to do. It has its peaks, it has its valley, it has head and shoulders, it has W patterns. If you guys are into power of three, you got your accumulation phases, you got your manipulations, you got your bullish flags. So really easy to kind of understand what's happening. And I'm not surprised. Gold is going to continue to be a key indicator for us, and it might be an indicator for Trump going into the next 4 years. So are we going to see gold kind of skyrocket and hit into that $4,000 range by the end of the 4 years? Possible. We saw unprecedented growth since when Biden took over to now, right? I think it's more than double the price. So here we are. We just need to now pay attention, mark, buy our positions, and make sure we are wary of where it's going. If you guys are in forex markets, though, just be mindful that a lot of forex markets does do high leverage. I still recommend be wary of it. But again, it's highly profitable. So for all of those who kind of were listening to our streams and hedged the bet on gold at the beginning of the year, congrats! You just made a boatload of money, $100 move. Any comments, guys? Any questions?
On gold, no. Just looking at the price, looking at that chart, it is a beautiful thing. I mean, you don't have to be a chart expert to see that this thing is looking strong, looking healthy. It's almost near all-time highs. Yeah, things are looking good.
Yeah, I mean, you could have just put $100, and let it ride. You would have killed the market. You would have killed. You would have. At the end of the month, you probably just been the happiest guy. So,
I don't follow gold very closely at all. But this is really great to see. But what does I don't know, kind of give me some gratification, I guess, is I had a friend of mine ask me about this time last year whether he should put, he had some money to invest. He asked me if he should put it into gold or Bitcoin. I know nothing about gold. I've never even looked at it before, to be honest. But I told him the safe bet. I mean, if you're unsure, split it. Go 50-50, see what happens. He did that, and I haven't spoke to him this week, but I'm sure
He must be on vacation.
yeah, he's. I'm sure he's happy with the results. I mean, it's always a sure bet, right? Gold. It's always going to be around, and it's not going to lose much value. So it's always a good sound investment, I think. Good to see, though.
Yeah.
Don't forget that early in the life of the United States, our dollar was based on the value of gold. You know, it literally said on the dollar bill, payable upon the payable in gold to the bearer upon demand. Like that's what was on there. And even when they transitioned to silver and transitioned into In God We Trust, gold held. So I don't see any other reason for things to change. Now, will it have its fluctuations? Of course it will. Everything and anything does. This is why you prepare. Yeah, like any asset. And that's why you prepare. But gold has always been the ultimate store of value, and it's nice to know that it has a companion in Bitcoin, right? Because now no one's gonna ship gold to their cousin if they need if they have an emergency. Bitcoin can do that, you know. And I think that's the biggest difference between the two, right? Like what the uses are. And with Bitcoin, it isn't. You need help with this, blah blah. Here's a Bitcoin. Go buy yourself a new house, you know. Congratulations, and it's easy to move versus sending 20 bricks of gold to someone. So I think that's where the commodities and crypto kind of go hand in hand. I'm hoping for the day where it's a unified value. I want to see like gold to BTC kind of pair. That'll be the ultimate high for me right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be fun to see. Okay, before moving on, Black Cat did say, is ADA still going to be a layer 2 for BTC? I've heard that is the case, Black Cat. I've also heard that ADA is going to be doing some kind of a partnership with Ripple or with XRP. But, Charles, he keeps everything close to the hip until something is until it's official. But I have heard rumors about that as well. Okay, moving on. One last tab before we... okay. So here is the CPBI. This kind of gives the overall sentiment, the overall indication of where Bitcoin is in the market and if we're getting close to the cycle peak. Right now, out of 100, we are at a 73. So for those that don't know what this is, it takes all the major indicators, single top indicators, kind of pulls it together and comes up with a chart. And as we get up into the high 90s, mid to high 90s, it's definitely getting time to start thinking about taking profits, taking things off the table, and preparing for the end of the market. So what I've done is I've taken off the R HODL and the 2-year moving average because they've peaked out already. They're kind of they're a bogus indicator, but the other ones are definitely legit, and it gives us an average of 73. And as you can see, currently, we are at a 73 out of 100, nowhere near the cycle top. So everything looks good there. Okay, let's get on to the news, gentlemen. The main talking point we have is January 20th. We mentioned the thumbnail, watch this date. Reason for that is because there's a lot of catalysts coming on the 20th. The main one, which we're not going to really get into too much today, is the inauguration of President Trump. And everything that goes with that. I mean, that is going to be huge. We can probably dedicate an entire stream to that. Maybe next week we'll go into more detail. But that is one catalyst. The other one, one of the other ones that we are looking at is, go with this one first because I feel it is important. So we have the SEC, SEC's executive Gary Gensler. He is going to be resigning as of the 20th, which is phenomenal. He has been the thorn in the side of every single crypto holder since he's been in office, since he's been in with the SEC. He always says that he's tried to guy and all that, but really all he's done is used enforcement to do his regulation. I don't know, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't want to get any knocks on the channel, but I don't think any of his moves, any of his lawsuits had anything to do with protecting the investor. It had everything to do with stymieing the innovation of crypto and to line the pockets of the SEC. But anyway, I digress. Here's an article from, I believe this is from Ripple's. This is from one of the Ripple executives, the chief legal officer. That's it. He stated on the 14th that Gary Gensler, the chairman of the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission, resigning on the 20th local time, January 20th, sorry. The war on crypto industry will also end, adding that Ripple requested an extension for submitting an appeal documents to the SEC, but the SEC refused. Ripple did win the majority of their case, as many know, but the SEC appealed. So, and then, they have to go through all that. But you know what? None of that is really going to matter come the 20th, because, I can almost lay a bet. I'll put a 10x long on the fact that the new administration, the new SEC chair, is just going to toss this. But we'll have to wait and see. He further added, "We are confident of winning the appeal and hope to resolve this issue in cooperation with the new SEC leadership." So there you go. He says it himself. They've been in a legal battle over unregistered security sales since December 2020. In August 24, a U.S. court ordered Ripple to pay a penalty of $125 million, which is a drop in the bucket. And the SEC appealed. Meanwhile, on January 15th, it was the deadline for the SEC opening brief submission, and then there's nothing further on here about that. Did you guys have any quick comments on that before I move on?
I've been looking forward to this day for I don't know how many freaking years. We talked about it last year and the year before, whether it's with friends or private. Like, this dude just didn't do what he was set out to do, right? Like, if he wanted to focus on corruption, like, just focus on the people who hired him. Focus on his Congress people. Like, how do you guys feel about, congressmen be able to buy stocks in crypto knowing what's happening, right? Because they pre-know these things. A lot of these guys are killing it, hand over fist. And then the money that we're making in crypto, they want to stymie. To me, this is a very passionate pain point for me, because I want the common person to be able to make their funds, right? And plan for their future and take, because for you to make it in stocks, you kind of need a sizable amount of money, right? A lot of these good chips like IBM and Apple, I mean, they're worth a lot. It's not easy to get in. But when you're trying to get into a nice little crypto, you can start building just using $100, $200. It's easier to get in. The cost of entry, the barrier to entry, should I say, it's easier. And instead of Gary putting in provisions to help protect consumers that want to do that, right, by preventing people dumping and or just taking your money and stealing it all outright, he goes after the companies that are providing could be possibly value. Yep. Investment value for their futures. So that big Republican right. Yeah. That big Republican talking point about how if the poor wants to do something about it, they need to be able to invest. Here we are. We're in a position to do that, but it's stymied. And I blame both sides, because none of them really stepped up and slapped Gary in the face. Like, what are you doing? So to me, again, that's my biggest takeaway is we need someone else to kind of head it, hopefully build true regulation. And again, it does need some. It needs some safeguards and some safe rails for people to be able to feel safe about their investment. It doesn't mean they're guaranteed to make tons of money. No, nothing does that for you. But at least you know that you're not going to go from here to zero in minutes because somebody decided to steal everything, right? So things like that needs to be put into place, and that's what I'm looking forward to with the new administration.
One thing I wanted to add to that is, a lot of times you see positions of power or people that leave either in politics or otherwise, and they have been known to be a certain way, and most of the time it wasn't in a good light. But then when they leave that position, they're told, or they tell the public that they really didn't want to be that way. They were kind of forced. Do you see Gensler coming out and saying, he did what he did because it was basically the way he was told to do it? I'm not saying that the Democrats themselves were telling him, okay, this is what you got to do. You got to sue these people or anything like that. But you see people like, for example, Mark Zuckerberg with Meta, Facebook, and he was infringing on free speech and watching people's accounts and basically kind of monitoring things and reporting back to Congress, to the Dems. And now he's saying that he was told to do that. He was told, censor this, don't allow this, don't allow that. It's unfortunate, and maybe now with this new administration that kind of will go away. But maybe I don't know if Gensler himself is that bad or corrupt of a person, or if he's kind of being led along. But I'm not really sure. I don't know if you guys have any opinions on that. I know it's kind of tinfoil hat conspiracy stuff, but you never know.
I was just going to make that comment before you did that. Part of me has always believed that Gary Gensler was just a puppet on the end of the string, to a point. On one hand, I think he really has it out for the crypto space. On the other hand, I wouldn't put it past him to own some himself. I think it's a double-edged sword. In relation to Ripple itself, even despite the appeal being filed yesterday, it just like the last week or so, XRP is just saying, hold my beer, and it keeps climbing that ladder. So Monday, the resignation is only going to help that along.
So a couple of things to what you said. Everybody kind of wants to leverage this whole freedom of speech situation, right? But people forget that if you're in a movie theater and there's no fire and you yell fire, guess what? You can get arrested for that, right? Yeah. You can't say freedom of speech. So a lot of the things that Zuckerberg was asked to censor was because people were going out of control, making up shit. Like, yeah, you should inject yourself with bleach. It'll cure your COVID. Like, that should be censored because people dumb enough to try that, right? So there are some responsibilities, I think, that should be held by these social media companies to, if something that's a dangerous, blatant lie, yes, censor that shit because we don't need that. We don't. It's one of the reasons I think TikTok is going to fall, right? Because besides the supposed security that they're talking about, national security issues, I truly believe it's because it's just full of nonsense. Very few times can you find quality stuff on there because, besides the fact that the algorithm just works that way, right? But it's just, you need some level of security. You just can't, there's a reason why we have defamation laws, right? If you could just say anything that you wanted, freedom of speech, then there would never be any defamation laws. But they exist. So they are safeguards to protect people's freedom of speech. But people don't realize that your freedom of speech should never infringe upon another person's freedoms. And it goes both ways. So, and if that happens, then what? Freedom of speech should overtake another person's right to not have to deal with bullshit. So I think it goes both ways. You have to be very careful on how we monitor in the future, right? Because we're in a new stage of development as a country and as a planet, as a species. And the things that we do today will set precedent for tomorrow. And I'm hoping that everybody on both sides are aware. And that's why, like I said, when it comes to the corruption that happens on both sides, I talk about both sides. Like Nancy Pelosi, with all the money she makes when it comes to her stocks, but she isn't the only one, right? You see a lot of people. I think there was 2 Republicans that got ousted because of what they were doing. They didn't report their stocks, but there's still more levels to it, right? Imagine you're seeing stuff, you approve a building because you know that Apple's going to build something somewhere. oh, I'm going to invest into Apple right now as a congressperson because you saw that, you heard it in passing, you saw paper that crossed your desk.
Insider trading. Yep.
Right. But they don't get arrested for that.
No.
If we did that, oh my God,
Yeah.
Forget about it. So, and those are the things that I'm talking about, guys. Like, I don't know for those who saw Biden's speech, he made a. But what I wanted to take away from ultimately be united, right? At the end of the day, I didn't vote for Trump, but he is now my president, and I'm going to support him as my president for the next 4 years. That's what it is. And I want to move forward. And I think I hope the inauguration day kind of brings all that to the forefront, and we move forward and fix the problems that we have. And I think that it'll just make everything better for us in the long term. Sorry for the rant, but I just felt that we just need to kind of move past the left and right side.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, we're going to get a major ding because of the political content this week. But speaking of political content, Char Davidson has joined us. Glad to see you, sir. How are you doing? It's been a minute. How are things with you?
What's going on, fellas? How you guys been?
Good, man.
Doing great.
Good.
Awesome. Welcome back, sir.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just need to take a break from everything because for the period of time that I was doing a bunch of stuff, it just felt like we're gonna get jacked again. The market was so good, and then it wasn't. It felt like a giant rug pull. And I'm like, you know what? If this is going to be another year of us just hanging out and doing absolutely nothing, I'm going to take a break, So, yeah, it's been just that, taking a break, enjoying the family time. Usually my Januaries are really busy anyway. So it's been pretty good.
Yeah, sometimes you need to take a break. And honestly, you took a break at the perfect time because as soon as you, decided to take some chart time, Bitcoin decided to go on a rip and the rest of the market decided to rip. So it was good timing.
I mean, it wasn't looking like that for a longest time, right? I was looking at larger time frames and everything looked like it should dump. We should be going back to like 70K or whatever. And I'm glad that the sentiment is still pretty good, Juan can attest to this. Thank God for Trump and that he won because he's ushering a new wave of optimism around crypto. And if it wasn't for him, I don't think we even see 70. I think we go down to 50 or 40. And then everything goes down to practically zero. So thank you, baby Trump.
Okay. I just want to continue, get the last article in here, which is also going to begin on the 20th, which is the FTX repayments. Actually, I don't think they're going to begin on the 20th. I believe they have to have, I'll read this down here. Claims of up to 50,000, they have to have their claim forms filled out by the 20th. And then FTX is going to begin to distribute that $1.2 billion. Now, a lot of that, not really sure how much, but a lot of it is definitely going to flow back into the market, which is very bullish. It could begin FOMO pumps and that sort of thing. But let's see here. FTX is preparing to distribute more than 1.2 billion in repayments to the bankrupt former cryptocurrency exchange users. Once the world's largest centralized exchange, set to begin paying users who have been unable to access their funds for over 2 years. Now, what I found interesting in this is if I scroll down, where did I see that? They are going to get, where did I see that? They're going to get 100 and, here it is. Approved, okay, it was approved in October 2024, 27 payments. So they're going to get a percentage. Where did I see that?
Are the repayments going to be in USDC or USDT?
Yeah, it's going to be in stables. Yes.
That's exactly what we need. Okay.
Here we go. So they're going to expect to be paid 119% of the declared value of their lost funds, which is pretty good. I mean, it's nowhere near what it would be worth today, but at least they're going to get 19% above their initial investment, or at least their account worth at that time. So it could be worse. And a lot of those people, I'm pretty sure, are going to, what are they going to do with that money? They know bull market. They're probably going to get those funds right before the euphoric banana zone. So I think there's a good chance that a lot of them are going to put it right back into the market. Do you guys feel the same? What do you guys think? Juan, I'll start with you. You're on mute, my good friend.
Sorry about that. I think that the sentiment around Trump, I think the way the market's been moving is going to be very encouraging for these people to get back in. I don't see them hodling this money, putting it away. I truly believe it's going to come right back into the market. Maybe not all of it, right? Maybe not all of it. I think people have to probably use some of it to kind of catch up on whatever things they missed out on because of the ordeal that happened. But the market's in a good shape, and hopefully they're listening to this stream and know where to kind of want to prepare themselves when it comes to investing, and they'll be better off for it, and we'll be they'll be able to maximize that money they're going to get back. But and I'm just happy overall that there was at least a small win for the people in the FTX, and they're getting some of this money back. Again, like you said, not the full portfolio amount, but still, a win is a win, and it's nice to see that the little guy got something.
Yeah, it's amazing to see because that rarely ever happens where you get money back from a rug pull or a scam. Cruiser, what about yourself? What are your thoughts?
Well, pretty much the same. Hopefully that money does come flowing back in, and there's not too many of them that are spiteful and just take their money and run. But regardless of, I'm sure it's going to bring a good pump back into the market. A lot of those funds, and yeah, like you just said, it's good to see the little guy win because it doesn't happen often enough.
No, that's for sure. And chart, the funds are going to be in USDT, USDC. They've already liquidated the remainder amounts that they've collected over the last 2.5 years. So they're going to be distributed in stables. So do you think that's going to flood into the market with some of it?
Yeah, it's good timing because it doesn't really matter when they release the funds in 2025 as long as they release it. I mean, if you're all of a sudden, waiting on this capital, you're going to infuse it right away into your portfolio, right? You're not going to sit on it or whatever, knowing that 2025 is the year.
Right.
And, I think we'll definitely see something going on at the end of March. I think normally the market cycles show up around end of March, and then we have kind of like a fall through in April, May, or whatever. But as long as the funds are within the entire period of 2025, people are going to just keep adding to the portfolio. And actually, it's actually good. That's why I was asking was it in stables, because there's going to be an infusion of money every once in a while once they start distributing this money. And if I was getting any, which I'm not, I will be straight putting it into some token that I'm holding.
Velo, baby, Velo. Okay, I will. Okay, that's pretty much it for the news. I did want to mention to the viewers as well. We did a video on the Bitunix exchange. Here it is. Here it's a sponsor of the channel. If you're going to be DCing into crypto, whether it be using your FTX money or just kind of buying the dips, Bitunix is a great exchange. You can spot buy. They have hundreds and hundreds of tokens, adding new ones all the time. And with this, you can set your limits and DC in that way. It's a real easy exchange to use. As I mentioned, we did a video on this on our channel. Here it is. Here. It's been doing really, really well. And if you decide you want to use Bitunix, consider using the link in the description. It does really help the channel. It sponsors giveaways that we do on the channel as well. Speaking of sponsors, we will be doing, or speaking of giveaways, sorry, we will be giving away these two. Let me get so everyone can see us. We have two Ballet wallets. Basically, they're hardware wallets or physical cards. We're going to be doing a giving away on that starting next week's stream. I will be mentioning a word or a phrase, and all you have to do is mention that in the comments after the stream is over. I will be taking all those names after 3 weeks of live streams and putting them in a wheel picker, and we'll be two winners. You can store, any crypto on here. Obviously, Bitcoin is the main one, but you can store any crypto on. Just when you get the card, you just peel off the front. There's your QR code. You have your wallet address, et cetera, et cetera. Really easy to use. There's a website you can refer to, and it gives you all the instructions on how to use those hardware wallets. So that is that. And now, Crypto Cruiser, I think you, speaking of tokens, if you wanted, if anyone's doing or wants to do research into tokens and they're not sure what to get, and they want to check out different narratives and stuff, Cruiser has come across a pretty cool website called Coin Paprika. Did you have a screen you wanted to share, Cruiser?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Cruiser is going to go over this website. It's a really, really cool website. If you're familiar with CoinMarketCap, this one's kind of like CoinMarketCap on steroids. So when he brings that up, we'll share his screen.
Yes. Where is this? Okay.
All
All
right,
right.
there we go.
We can all see that?
Yep.
Okay, so I don't even remember how I found this site. I was Googling something crypto related, and I came across this Coin Paprika. So I spent some time kind of digging around, seeing what it's all about, because it seemed to have just a plethora of information. When you first go to this website, you'll see this screen, and it's got the top 50 or 100. You can change the settings, all the top tokens anyway. But what I really like about it is what you can do with each of these charts. You see these headings across here. You've got your price overview, which is the default. You can go to your return rate to see your 7-day, 30-day, 1 quarter, 1 year. This one I really like. You go to the all-time high. You can see the all-time high for any token. You don't have to stick to the top 50 that it shows you. You can look up any token you want, see what the all-time high was, what date it was, how long ago it was, the percentage. Just awesome information. When if you've got a goal or you're looking to set goals, that sort of thing. Great information here. Going back up to the top here real quick, another one of my favorites, this news tab. It's got all the top news crypto related, just about anything that happens in the crypto space. There'll be a report here on it. You've got general, you've got coin specific news stories, like XRP here stays strong above $3 despite the appeal that happened yesterday. Solana dropped sharply, just all kinds of specific token news stories. Any news about airdrops, you got all that here. Any airdrops coming up, initial coin offerings, meme coins. And this is my favorite right here for any of the new people in the space, Crypto 101. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you literally go through these pages and you can basically start from the very beginning on what crypto is, stripped right down to the bare basics. So much information here to learn about crypto, this Crypto 101 tab. Anybody who's looking to learn about crypto that's never been in the space, this is an absolutely awesome place to be. I've been in the space for a number of years now, and I've learned things going through here that that I had no clue about. Of course, nobody knows everything, of course, but we're all still learning, and fantastic. So anyway, there's so much more to this website, but that's the gist of the main features that I really like about it. One other thing that some people might find useful is you can create your own portfolio on this. You just register as a user, which, as you can see up here, that I've done that. I haven't created a portfolio yet, but you can put all your tokens and all your assets and everything into this portfolio for the world to see. I don't know if there's any benefit to it, but like this one at the top, 4 years, 7 months, 15 days since this portfolio was created, and it shows his statistics. Like I said, don't know if it has any benefit, but it's just super cool. just so much information. Anybody looking to learn this, from what I've seen over the last couple of years, this is by far the best.
That's an awesome site.
Yeah.
And of course, it's got the normal things like the different categories, trending, all the normal things you'd find on CoinMarketCap as well. Yeah, it's a really one-stop shop for anyone that's doing research on tokens. Good to see.
Yeah, you can see all kinds of charts, just anything you want. Yeah, absolutely awesome site. I use it daily now. It's been a couple of weeks since I've stumbled upon it, really. I was going to say discover, but I stumbled upon it. Just a great platform. Absolutely awesome. So anybody who's new to the space can really gain from it.
Okay, we're at the hour mark. I do want to let the viewers know. Last thing here, as Chart has joined from DGens, each and every week we like to remind everybody that if they want to check out the DGens weekly newsletter, the link is in the description. All the information that you could possibly want about the market, specific tokens, the news of the week, and any other information that will help you navigate the crypto space is here. So you go to the link in the description, you subscribe to the newsletter, and once a week on Tuesdays, you will get the newsletter sent to your email. So don't forget to subscribe to that and also join their Discord while you are there. And that, I believe, is about it this week. Last words, gentlemen. I'll go around the clock or around the panel. We have just a couple of minutes. Cruiser, I'll start with you. Any last words?
Just excited for the weekend, for the next week, really. See what happens. The last few days have been pretty awesome. Being an XRP holder like I am. Not impressed with Ethereum, but I don't own any, so I guess it doesn't matter. Just excited. Last week I made a comment about hopefully we'll be back here this week saying what a recovery. I guess that's partially true, but we still have a ways to go. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Juan, how about yourself?
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting couple of days over the weekend and until Inauguration Day. Guys, be prepared. For those who are trading, there will be retail news released tomorrow, so keep an eye on the markets for that. Canada has news on the 21st after Inauguration Day, so that'll be interesting, considering that Canada is afraid of the tariffs that may happen. So quick update there. And lastly, enjoy your trading time. Prepare. And if you like what we're doing, subscribe and engage. I look forward to seeing some comments and feedback.
And Chart, yourself.
I can't wait for this party to get started. We got 4 days left. I'm looking forward to these supposed tariffs because they're never going to happen, right?
No. Because
the trigger word is so severe amongst the two countries that we would actually kill each other. We would actually go to war. And so it's just posturing by Trump. He just probably wants to get a good deal for the U.S., which is understandable. And I'm sure, everyone's just getting prepared in case Trump is absolutely batshit crazy, which I don't think he is. I think he's just trying to be smart about it and try to renegotiate NAFTA. But other than that, every single day I hear something new and positive about crypto, how he's going to make sure that, everybody benefits from pro-crypto administration. Most likely no capital gains tax on your crypto income and revenue. Like anything goes, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen on day one, but for sure coming up. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Okay, quick check on the Bitcoin price. We are at 100,169, so we really haven't moved much at all during the stream. Okay, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Chart, good to see you again. Don't forget, anyone watching the video, please like and subscribe. If you like what you see, tell your friends. And don't forget, if you feel like doing any trading, whether it be spot or leverage, but be careful with leverage, you can check out the Bitunix link in the description. Remember, nothing on this stream is financial advice, strictly entertainment and education purposes only. And we will see everybody next week. Thanks, gentlemen.
All right. See you then.
Get the round table ready. Yeah. Yeah. Crypto friends, the show starts now.